Hello everyone, Mike here with iDriver's Life Abroad. Welcome back to our channel. My wife Louise and I just got back from Canada and I'm getting into my exercise routine, one which I hadn't been able to maintain due to my severe sleep apnea as described in my last video. Well, I've got some great news to share on this topic, so if you want to know more, I'll explain further in this video.
Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to bleed.
In my last video, I shared with you a potential danger of living at high altitudes, such as found here in Cuenca, Ecuador. The gist of the video was that you shouldn't dismiss the potential of developing high altitude sickness symptoms that could also include digestive tract issues and sleep apnea. While I likely had sleep apnea prior to moving to Ecuador over 2.5 years ago, I wasn't aware I had it, nor did I suspect it, as the symptoms weren't evident to me. After a sleep analysis where I was diagnosed with severe sleep apnea with an AHI and apnea-hypopnea index of 57, I faced the possibility of having to move away and change up our retirement plans of living in Ecuador. We do enjoy Ecuador as we much prefer the spring-like weather of the Andes and not the hot, humid weather found in coastal and Amazon regions of Ecuador and most of the Central American and Asian countries as well. So we returned to Canada for a month visiting family in both the East and the West. While in the nation's capital of Ottawa, I immediately noted a reduction in my sleep apnea at near sea level without the assistance of a CPAP or BPAP. It was easily cut in half. We then flew to Western Canada in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains at an elevation of just above 3,000 feet or 914 meters, where my sleep apnea was generally elevated and above that found at sea level. This information was gleaned from my Apple Watch measurements of breathing disturbances. In my previous video, I made mention of purchasing a ResMed AirCurve 11 ASV, or adaptive servo ventilator, and had it shipped to my sons. Once I set it up and used it the first night, along with a new ResMed N20 nasal mask, I woke up the next morning feeling refreshed and without a headache or fogginess. I was floored to find out that my AHI was 0.8. Yes, you got that right. Less than one hypopnea incident per hour. I was elated. I used it for a week while visiting and had readings of 0 to 0.9. So there's no question it wasn't a fluke and that the ASV unit was working to prevent me having Cheyne-Stokes breathing in my sleep. We're back in Cuenca now, and after a week of BiPAP use, I still have 0 or near 0 hypopnea, while sleeping even at Cuenca's high elevation of 8,400 feet or 2,560 meters. Now, the only hiccup with the ResMed device is that the cellular modem, which is uploading your data to the ResMed servers so that you can view your sleep data on their My Air app, no longer works as it's geofenced to the market where the device was purchased. I learned this on the second day and confirmed it with the ResMed retailer in Toronto. So getting my daily data involves reading the data on the SD card and having it analyzed on a choice of two apps, one called Oscar, an open source analysis reporter, and the other is a commercial web app called Sleep HQ. My wife is obviously thrilled with the results too, as she has settled into her retirement life here in Cuenca and has an active social circle centered around doing a variety of crafts with her friends. The observables in my health are significant with the use of the ASV. I awake without headaches nor fogginess. I have no need for afternoon naps, and I have energy to get back to my cardio exercises. The only measurable that will take some additional time is my blood oxygen. In Canada, I had no difficulty in achieving 100% throughout my day and no lower than 92% overnight. This while using the BiPAP. So, anyone considering visiting or moving to the Andes or any other high elevation destination should perhaps consider the potential physical effects on your body. However, know that all is not lost. The easiest remedy is simply adaptation, which requires time, Physical activity is also beneficial in helping counter some of these effects. However, in the case of sleep apnea, you'll want to first get a sleep analysis done. If you've never had sleep apnea and now are having Cheyne-Stokes breathing, then know that a basic CPAP will not likely help and that an ASV unit is far superior in addressing this type of intermittent stop-start breathing or apnea to hyperapnea cycles. I hope that this video will help someone else who may be facing the same symptoms. Just note that these are my personal experiences and I'm not medically trained whatsoever. I consulted with a respirologist and was diagnosed, but the recommended remedy of a CPAP had little effect, and I began my journey of research into addressing high elevation sickness and its effects. This is how I determined that an ASV unit would help me. If you've watched this video to the end, then thank you. Please consider giving a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel as we share our experiences of living in Ecuador. Until next time, keep well.